Okay, so now we're down to independent and dependent systems. Can you see that? No, scoot down a little bit more. And so an independent system is a system that has exactly one solution. Exactly one solution. Remember, independent is more like somebody who stands alone, in control, so it's only one solution. And dependent, remember, it depends on something, or dependents can be children. So in terms of systems, infinitely many solutions would be considered a dependent system. So here in example 3 is asking us to classify each system and give the number of solutions that exist. So let's look at A. First thing will be to decide which method do you want to use to solve it. I think the easiest one for me, I'm just going to use graphing method for this first. No, graphing method is going to be easier there. So let's do substitution. Get some more practice with substitution. With substitution, have to get y by itself. Ooh. I'm going to solve for x. Look at x by itself. So 2y equals x plus 2. I'm going to subtract 2 on the other side. And I get 2y minus 2 equals x. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to plug that into the problem. And so then we end up with negative 1/2 times 2y minus 2. I'm going to erase it. You know, I can't stand this. It's just too jumbly for me. Too jumbled up. Alright, I'm rewriting. So when I rewrote that, I basically had x equals 2y minus 2. So I'm going to plug it into the second one, and we end up with negative 1/2 times 2y minus 2. So plug this into the second equation. And I substituted the x out. Plus y equals 1. We're going to distribute, and half of negative half of 2. The 2 is basically cancelled. That's just negative 1y. Negative half times that. 2 negatives are going to make a positive. The 2's cancel, so it's just a positive 1. And everything else comes down. You notice our y's both cancel. We're left with 1 equals 1. Since 1 equals 1, remember the number of solutions for this answer is infinitely many solutions. Then it tells us to classify the system, and if we look right here at dependent, remember dependent, if it's independent, if it's infinite many, it is a dependent system. And then if you look back on the other page, remember there was also 2 other systems. Is it inconsistent or is it consistent? And you probably have guessed it right. Yes, it is a consistent system because it has 1 or more solutions. And so that pretty much sums up that problem. Infinite many solutions. It is a consistent system, and it is a dependent. Everybody got that? Alright, let's look at letter B. This was already in y equals, so I'm going to use the graphing method. So grab your calculators. We're going to go to y equals. Type in a 2x minus 2 if you distribute it. Or you could type in 2 and use the parentheses x minus 1. Either way, you get the same answer. The second one, we're going to type in x plus 1. Go to second trace. We're looking for the intersection point, or some of you might prefer to go to the table. Press enter 3 times, and you should get that it crosses at 3, 4. Since it crosses at 3, 4, remember that is 1 solution. And since it's 1 solution, that means it is a what? consistent system because a consistent system has at least one solution. And then remember, independent or dependent. Independent is the one that stands alone. So exactly one solution. It is an independent system, and those are the 3 answers. Any questions? All right, let's scroll down. And the last problem is a word problem. There's nobody here to read, so I guess I'll read it. The sales manager at Comics Now is comparing its sales with its competitor Dynamo Comics. If the sales pattern continues, will the sales of Comics Now ever equal the sales for Dynamo Comics? If you look at Dynamo Comics, we're basically, too big. Comics Now. We're going to write an equation. And so when we write our equation, we see that the slope is I can't really see it up there. I'm sorry. Oh, it's increasing by 40 from 130 to 170. So our slope is 40x and the starting point is 130. So our first equation is y equals 40x plus 130. The slope of the second one is increasing by 42. So it's also y equals 40x plus, in this case, the starting point is 180. And it says, will the Comics Now ever equal the Dynamos? And the answer should be no. Why will they not equal? Because they have the same slope. Same slope means what? Yes, you answered right. They equal, they're parallel lines. And parallel lines never cross. And that pretty much sums up systems. Now you're going to work on a wonderful handout.